Danny, Electro Ninja here, and welcome back to Electro Ninja's Lab. Excuse me. In today's video, we are going to be doing our first video about My Hero One's Justice 2. Now, there is a reason for why I am talking about this, and why there are going to be two videos about this. This video is going to be a theory video, while the next one is going to be my review of the original My Hero One's Justice, and basically what they can improve upon when they are moving forward into the next game. So, yeah. And that video will be coming out tomorrow, while this video is, of course, coming out today. So, first off, if you haven't seen the trailer for the new My Hero One's Justice, go check it out. I have it on my Twitter account right now, and it should be pretty easy to find. I believe that when you guys are seeing this, I will have it on as the pinned tweet, so you guys should be able to see that for a while. But only for a few days until this video is out. But anyways, guys, today we are going to be talking about, well, a scene that's in the show, in the game. So in the trailer, they show off a lot of different fights. Some fights that we kind of expected, such as the fights at the end of season 2, or was it 3? It was season 3. At the end of season 3, when Deku and them are trying to get their licenses, their professional licenses, and we also saw some fights from the first arc of this season, season 4. And now that's understandable. We kind of expected that to happen. We see a whole bunch of characters that are really not that surprising and blah, blah, blah. Not a huge deal. Needless to say, I'm perfectly fine with it. Obviously, seeing characters like Mineta be playable is a bit weird, but I can live with it. And the same goes for a few other characters. I'm excited to see how they all play. But then we got this one scene of a fight, and it's Endeavor versus Dobby. Now, this is an important thing to note, is that there has never once been a fight between Endeavor and Dobby. At all. Like, not a single fight in any episode of the anime. They haven't even met each other, as far as we are aware, until, of course, this latest volume of the manga. If you guys haven't read the manga, that's some spoilers, but it's really not an extreme amount of spoilers, so don't worry about that. I'm not going to spoil what happened in the fight, but it's their first time meeting and their first time fighting. Now, I've looked at some of the fight a few times, and it doesn't really strike me as necessarily that fight, but it's still a fight that honestly we should at least be thinking about. You see, this fight is around the end of another arc, a pretty short arc, but it's an arc nonetheless. You see, after the events of the first arc of this season, there are two small arcs that each take about a volume. With first, of course, being the festival arc, where the entire class gets together to be a band and Class B gets together to be totally ridiculous, and I freaking love it. And it's honestly a scene that I hope gets to be in the anime, but unfortunately I don't think it will be. We'll have to wait and see exactly what they decide to do, but it's so nerdy and it's the best freaking thing ever. I think I've talked about it before in a previous video. But yeah, that arc was pretty good. But then after that, we get another arc. A short arc again, but it's important because of the fact that it's dealing with the Todoroki family and all of the trials that are going on with them and how to make them better. And it's really starting to build up the idea of Dobby being Endeavor's son, even though we still haven't gotten any confirmed information about that. But that's something that and I'm sure many of you, are confused about then. Why exactly are we getting an episode of the anime where that shouldn't happen for a while showing up in this game? You see, I believed, and I've said it before, that Volume 20 would be the end of this season, most likely finishing off this first arc, and this big arc, and then having the little arc afterwards. But now it's seeming like maybe this second small arc might also be at the end of this season. Now, while this isn't necessarily a bad thing, it also kinda is. You see, the issue isn't necessarily the fact that, well, we're going to be getting a second arc, but rather the fact of how this game works. You see, My Hero One's Justice, the first game, has an interesting way to go about it. You see, the game released shortly around the time that the first half of the season ended. And it looks like that could be the case again. But if that is the case, then why are we seeing this second smaller arc? Now, we have had recently more shows going towards the longer seasons, with things like Sword Art Online having a short break and then having 40 freaking episodes. Holy cow, that's insane. That's still freaking going right now. That the current season, I believe, is still going, which is just why. That season was awful, and I couldn't even finish it. So, yeah, I don't understand what the heck is wrong with people. But then we get this new arc in this new season of My Hero Academia having a scene from the latest volume. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Let that be clear. Honestly, if they wanted to complete the season at volume 21, that would be completely fine and understandable. But due to the fact that My Hero One's Justice, the original, finished at the halfway point, that leads me to think that perhaps we'll be actually getting this going to the halfway point yet again, meaning that this season of My Hero Academia may actually be really long, going beyond these arcs, which, keep in mind, this is the longest season already. It's already going to be the longest season, possibly 30 episodes just on its own. If we're saying that that the new arc, that short arc with Todoroki, is the final arc of this season, that's still a very large amount of the. That's still a, like I said, that's a very large amount of the manga. That's basically 6, I want to say. No, more than that. I think, yeah, I believe it's 6 volumes. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the case, which, like I said, that's the longest that's ever gone. But if instead they decide that they're going to go even longer, honestly, we might be seeing this season go for a very long time, and who knows? I personally would be all for it, but at the same time, that means that those of us who are reading the manga won't be able to keep up that easily. And the manga might not be able to keep up. You see, the thing is that I'm not 100% certain on this, but I believe that previous seasons have finished the season around the time that have finished the season at about the volume that comes out shortly before the season begins. But in this case, it might be longer. So definitely some things to at least be thinking about. And I personally am kind of worried, but we'll have to wait and see exactly what they decide to do. But if My Hero One's Justice is anything to go on, this is going to be a really long season, so be prepared. But anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, and of course, subscribe if you're new, and ring the notification bell. And if you want to help us out even more, check out all of our links down in the description below, and of course, leave your theories down in the comments below. But anyways, guys, I have been Electro Ninja, and I will see you guys next time. But on!